Hello everyone, welcome to Brian's Movies. Today I'm going to be talking about Disney and Pixar's newest release, Elementals. Now before I talk about Elementals today, I want to talk about Pixar as a whole. So Pixar as a studio, ever since the 90s, have been making really good films. From Toy Story, Finding Nemo, Cars, Incredibles, so on and so forth. They're really good movies, obviously. Everybody, I would hope, you love these movies. But ever since, I want to say 2020, a lot of the movies felt either mediocre or just very poor. Soul was okay, but once Turning Red hit theaters, didn't feel like Pixar was making quality content anymore for the people out there. And because they weren't making this quality content, the Pixar just didn't feel like a good studio for me anymore. They didn't feel like they were making any good movies anymore. Something that I would want to go to the theater and say, that looks good. I want to see that movie because that looks amazing. No, they just didn't make those movies anymore. And I gotta say, this movie is amazing. So a lot of people, I want to say, have been calling this movie a Zootopia ripoff online, which, I mean, if you look at the color scheme, you can't blame them, right? Look at the Elemental City. It looks very bright and very similar to Elementals. And the trailers, they don't really help its case on making it look like a good movie. But I can assure you, trailers show this much for the movie, this much, because the actual movie is a lot better than these. And the basic story about Elementals, before I go into depth of my overall thoughts, is it is about a young girl. Her name is Ember Flame, and she ends up in Elemental City with her parents. And once she's in Elemental City, she's trying to run her shop with her parents, eventually meeting a city inspector named Wade in the shop who threatens to shut down her factory, her shop. And once they threaten to shut down her shop, Wade basically takes Ember and says, hey, I can help you fix this problem. And that's the whole base of the movie. It's about these two characters, Ember and Wade. And Ember and Wade go on this fascinating, amazing, crazy journey through Element City. They try and find what they're looking for, which is a leak. Yeah, so overall, I thought this was an amazing movie. That's going to be my non-spoiler review. Those of you who have not seen it, I highly recommend you see it. And I'm going to give you my overall thoughts, and then we'll go into spoilers, which I will warn you about, promise. So, overall, I thought it was a 7 out of 10. Really good movie. I think the color scheme is colorful. I think if it's still playing in 3D, you should definitely see it in 3D. It's a lot better in 3D. Can't specify that enough. What else can I say about it? Yeah, it's just a very colorful, and this was a great surprise by Pixar. I think Pixar, you have proved that you can make good movies, but you gotta put the effort into it, guys. Come on, you can't just make mediocre movies about girls twerking their butts. It's just, no, nobody wants to see that online, no. Yeah, and that's what I thought. So, thank you all those for tuning in for the non-spoiler review, and now I'll be going into spoilers. So, spoilers, 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 spoilers. If you haven't got the point yet, and haven't seen the movie, leave the video, please. Thank you. But now, let's talk spoilers. So, Elementals start with this Funko Pop keeps dropping, I'm sorry. Sorry, So the movie starts with this young couple of flames, and they are traveling to Elemental City because they left their hometown because their hometown ended up being destroyed by a volcano. And once they leave, they go to Elemental City for a start. But these two flames are living with people such as water, earth, air, and some dangerous elements that, as we all know, because of scientific reasons, elements can't mix like that. And fire was not built for Elemental City. So they go around trying to find this new house. They eventually find it. And they fix it up into this nice thing. And then Ember was born, and then we get a title card. And then after the title card, we see Ember. She's all grown up, and she's helping her pa in the shop. And basically, she tends to lose her temper in the shop, which leads her to her dad to basically say when she'll know that she's ready once she stops losing her temper. And one day during a big red dot sale at the shop, she loses her temper big time and bursts open the pipes. And once the pipes burst, she tries to fix it and enters in our other main character, Wade. Now Wade is the city inspector, and the city inspector goes around and writes her about 50 tickets, I believe, if I remember that correctly. So Ember tries to chase Wade down and doesn't succeed on getting the tickets back from Wade. Wade offers Ember to go retrieve the tickets back. So they go, they try to receive the tickets, and it doesn't work. But they're trying to find this big boss lady by the next scene, where this big boss lady can help Ember's shop not get shut down. And through some nice team spirit and some friendship during a sports game, and they end up eventually convincing her that they need the shop to run. So the whole rest of the film is about them trying to find a leak, because if the leak in the shop is what's causing all the problems, and there's not supposed to be any more water in Firetown by this point. So unless they find this leak, her shop's going to be torn apart forever. So they go, they try to find this leak, and they do. First they cover it with sandbags, and then they keep covering it, and with other stuff. And while this is happening, Ember and Wade, as the climax of the story reaches its point here, finds out they have a romantic relationship. They love each other. They can't touch. So what ends up happening is Ember and Wade end up loving each other. Yep, I said they end up touching each other, and that was the climax of the film, the crazy part. They end up touching each other, and they didn't incinerate each other. And eventually the pipe does crack, though, by the end of the movie. A water leak runs through Firetown. But Wade proves himself worthy of doing this by rescuing everybody in Firetown and sacrificing himself in the process. And that's basically the movie, Elementals. Story about love, friendship, and a little action and adventure right there. Overall, I think you guys will enjoy it. Thank you so much for tuning in to Brian's Movies. This is going to keep falling down every time. And enjoy. Bye.